Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Talkin Town. My name is Adam, and today I'm joined by my constant co-host Steven. Steven, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, covering still to an extent from the festivities this weekend. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a little swooned out at the moment, but
Yeah.
otherwise all right.
Are you more tired of Star Wars or standing in lines?
Thankfully I didn't actually have to stand in lines that much during the weekend.
You suck.
So yeah, I think I'm a little bit more tired of smooth and standing in lines. The thing that I'm tired the most of is carrying a heavy backpack everywhere. So I'm happy to just not have to carry one around for a little while.
You know what? That's fair. Um, it was a long weekend. Uh, we did a lot, but I'm gonna introduce who else we got here today. When we did the Swoop Metastats episode, we kind of talked with Michael after, and we're like, "Hey, you got any spare extra time in your life to read more than just numbers, and want to kind of hop in on hosting this with us?" So we're gonna have three folks now, at least on the reoccurring thing, and hopefully a lot more stuff coming up in the Omaha Alliance like news stuff in the recent.
Yeah,
And then also,
right.
due to everybody in Omaha, well, we had Ryan converted over to day two, and Landon was our best performing Omaha Alliance member. So he's here today to kind of talk about the deck that a lot of us were kind of keeping under wraps and the things we were working on. So I really don't know where to start with this one. There was a really long weekend. Uh, I mean, the food was great. The company was great. Um, I'm just trying to.
It was really fun.
It was.
I guess first thing is
So fun.
we were able to get how many people from Omaha Alliance were able to make it out. We had what, like
Eight,
15?
18, I think.
Yeah,
18
close
was
to
the full
20.
number.
I
I
think.
heard
So
somebody threw out 18. I don't know how accurate that is.
I think. I think I would comfortably say 20 if you count like all the SOs that showed up for other things. And
Mm.
I know in our picture alone we had quite a few. So 19 signatures on your Talzin. So and I think you're missing a few, but
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy. I don't even know if I need to make sure I have all the signatures on my jersey. Um, I'll
I
try
don't.
and yeah, I it was so difficult. As soon as we got in that convention hall every day, it felt like it was just like throwing cats into the wind and just seeing where they all.
Yeah.
No,
Right. It,
I
it
never
it
heard of
was a
that.
huge haul. Like, I mean, sure, there wasn't really like it was a pretty full play space for what they had set aside for a play area, but I mean, for the most part, they still had a lot of good, just open space to move around still. Lines excluded because the lines were, but you still had space. You weren't you could move between tables relatively effectively. So we could have crammed what felt like another, you know, thousand people in there by just condensing some of the stuff that they had in Exhibition Hall B.
thank
How
you,
many
Michael.
But
people were? Does anybody know how many people were there? My estimate is like 5,000.
You know what? I can't wait for. I hope the FFG drops these statistics. Oh my
I
gosh!
I thought we were right around 3,000 because I wasn't aware that they sold more than like 3,000 some odd general admission passes. I know in the
Oh,
tournament total it was like 24. What was it? I saw numbers. I think it was like
23.
2,400, something like that,
Day
between
one
day
was
one and day two.
1958, I
That's
believe.
right.
Yeah,
That's
right.
insane.
And then we had another about 350, or no. It was just over 300, I think, with the buys. So it was about 20, right about 2,250 or so. Um, and I know there were a lot of people there just for side events and whatever else.
Yeah. I guess we can also jump in. Well, let's kind of break the ice on at least like the regards to like what deck majority of Omaha has kind of been practicing, or at least quite a few of us. In the last episode, we didn't actually say it out loud because I just was trying to keep it under wraps for the guys that had the day 2 buys and those who were interested in taking it. You guys have been working on Yoda Red for quite a while. Landon, what was the foundation of why you thought this deck would be the call? I want to, because you and Daniel were like kind of in charge of leading with this one.
So the big one was we knew Han was going to be a big part of it, and we're like, how do we beat Han? That's kind of where we started, and might as well just play a semi mirror that we can just go a little taller with because we flip later, and we were just able to be a little more controlling. Pretty much where it started, and then we started teching it out for other matchups as we saw fit.
I was the lucky volunteer to run Vader into you with a mini bombing run. But you guys worked to try and make the Han 2 matchup as favorable as possible. What was your record? Because I know you had your day 2 buy, or your day 1 buy. So what was your record? So if anybody who isn't familiar with how you did that day.
I ended 5-3.
And I know you were 5-2 going into the last round, correct?
That is true.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said there, and you did a fantastic job. You obviously did the best out of all of us, but should be proud of that. And obviously you're riding on the coattails of kind of a deck that I don't think people were really expecting. So, I mean, everybody was ready for some version of heroic blue-red. So, but I think Yoda was a different ballpark, and I played against one in Swiss on day 1, and I sat there and explained to him like I've had my ass just handed to me as many times as one can usually take by this deck over the last like month now.
It's definitely a deck that it's the analogy of hammer and a needle. Han 2 is a literal hammer that will just come at you without stop, and a needle of Yoda is just like if you make one mistake, you're gonna die so quickly.
That's fair. Larson put up a good question in the chat if you're not reading it, but compared to pre-event and post-event, what did you see that threw off the Han 2 matchup? I know you said you played it against it once, right?
Yeah, it was round 8.
I remember you said something about both Kiatis, right?
Yeah, so I knew people were starting to play the new Kiati in the deck, but I just never had a good way to... The games I lost, he just went Grogu, Kiati, and I didn't have a great way to immediately deal with the Grogu because I didn't have initiative, so he just immediately got rid of the damage, which made my life so much harder.
Yeah, that card's pretty good when Han has both initiative and opening Grogu. You're talking about the Kiati from set 3, right? Okay, that's what I just wanted to clarify. I saw that
played on turn 3, and it's just
Kiati 5, Kiati 3.
Yep. Kiati, he's a 5/5 on Han's 3rd turn. That's pretty well statted with a pretty good ability.
That's good.
I was gonna say the ability was what killed me the most, is because I'm like I have to play multiple actions with this deck.
Yeah, you can't not. Yeah.
Do you remember how your other Swiss rounds were? Like what matches you played against?
So I have it pulled up so I can go look. But I started off with Quinlan, and that was a 2-1. It was very close. I got off to a rough start that time, but it was a matchup that I was semi-ready for because I played against it a few times. But it's always scary because red-yellow discard, still very, very good. And then round 2, I played against Humble, one of the Europe guys that I played in TTS leagues a few times. He was playing the Tulzin. He's part of the Enigma team, who ended up winning it. But
do you know if his 60 was the same 60 as Baton's?
I don't know if it was the exact same, but I think it was.
I know there was another
similar.
Enigma dude who had the exact same 50.
Okay.
I don't know if
it might have been Humble. I don't know. I never asked him, but I got that one in a 2-1.
Hey, that's a hell of a win.
in game 3, he kind of bricked. He opened like force unit into throw, but he didn't have a good way to get the force because I had initiative.
Hmm.
And then turn 4, he just played Churret into a takedown, which pretty much sealed that game.
Yeah.
Round 3, pretty much I played Boss Data Vault. I've never been happier that one of our locals played so much of that deck. Because I was like, I know exactly what this does.
I was gonna say, who are you shouting out? Is that Ryan?
Ryan, yeah, Metzler. He played so much of that deck. I'm like, I know exactly how this works.
Yeah. Try and prevent
It pretty
the
much
ramp.
a lot of that.
Well, I let him ramp. I'm like, I'm just gonna get rid of the cards in your hand and let you. Like, if you're playing ramp cards, that means you're not holding cards back for me to get rid of.
Yeah.
And then as soon as boss flip, I always just force through a hammerhead at it. I'm like, I'm not letting you double claim stuff.
The quick resolution answer, as one would say.
Yeah. The one cost, one resource answer.
The one resource.
That'll probably be our last discussion of the episode is what happens next. But we've got a bit to get through still before there. Michael, you and I played the same deck this day one. Did we end on the same record? Were you 4-4 or were you 5-3?
I was 4-2-2.
4-2-2. Okay, I knew I got nothing right. I actually got absolutely nothing right. I just wanted to.
I did the same thing I did in Mini, where I just went into the draw bracket on like round 3.
Oh, that's the. I mean, we were on ECL at least, so we were both playing Kylo ECL. At the last minute, I kind of made a pivot. I liked how it played into just about anything mid range. You have the ECL Vader, the ECL Anakin. You have the ability to rummage, draw, and it made playing the game fun. I'll say that. The deck is really good too, and I'm sure I could have piloted it better. But
same.
The ability to always just like 2-for-1 on 6 resources and then come out with a gigantic leader. You just kind of create these scenarios where if they don't have Rivals Fall, you probably just win.
Mm-hmm.
And you're up. It makes. Oh, go ahead.
Kit Fisto.
Or Kit Fisto, yeah, or the Aether Sprite.
I got hit by that a couple times in Vegas, and that sucked.
I got hit by a main board power failure. So
that's awful.
That in a Han 2
that
deck. Yeah.
That was the card we were thinking
All
about.
Right. What a guy.
He was cooking for so.
Yeah. That dude is a G. I got hit by a power failure from a Vader 1 data vault.
Oh my gosh.
Which was very unexpected.
Yeah, that's
both the deck and the power failure. And I won that 2-0, but I flipped directly into no upgrades anymore and had a 5/5 with Sentinel for 7, which felt really great.
I know it doesn't feel good, but that catches some people off. Like, that's still a well-statted Sentinel for free.
They're true. So I actually had my last game of day 1 was against a Sabine ECL. It was the only Sabine I saw all day. And we had really fun games. He was a super nice guy. I did end up 2-0ing that. And I did that by just flipping Vigilance into flipping Kylo with no upgrades. And doing something else that turn, just to give him a 5/5 Sentinel that he couldn't wreck her through.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to make a wall.
Yeah, and that's it. And then you just like timely a Vader or an Anakin from hand on that same turn, and then, anyways, yeah. So flipping him without upgrades is not bad.
No, obviously not our preferred method, but ECL is a live and die on this sword kind of thing. If you have too little HP, you will die quickly. If I've stabilized that 24 HP one of my matches. And I closed out the game in an Avenger lock, and I felt terrible. So,
the old Avenger lock.
Yeah.
So your Kylo list, you did not run main deck Vigilance, right? That was the difference between our lists.
Yep, no main deck Vigilance.
Okay. Yeah.
I also cut OB, which definitely hurt me in my Vader matchup, but I thought there would be less Vader than there was.
I didn't see any Vaders.
I saw
Thankfully.
one round 1 and one round 3, and I ended up 1-1 overall. But
I mean,
yeah.
hey, and without OB, I think that's the worst matchup.
Oh, easily, yeah. I knew going into this I was punting most of the
Yep.
aggro, but it was
Same.
worth it. The deck was.
I'll tell you this though, Vigilance main deck did enable me to outmill an Iden DV and a Kylo DV,
That's crazy.
and that was pretty cool.
There
I
was
tied those games, but I outmilled them.
Yeah, but you also take the wins where they can come. Like in that matchup, I played that, except it was Palp Colossus, and there was no chance. He got to the bottom of his deck first, but his hand he still hadn't Palp deployed, even though he's out of cards left.
Right, he's got gas the whole time.
Yeah, his hand is Avenger, Super Laser Blast. It's whatever he needs. But yeah, that was my round 7 loss, and that's what knocked me out of day 2. But speaking of day 2, Steven, would you like to tell the people what you played?
To everyone's surprise, I ended up playing Ray Tarkentown.
Oh my!
I
could've seen
know
this one.
everyone's shocked. I was playing around with several different decks. I spent a little time on the Yoda Red. I played around with the Anakin Blue. I even had initially played around with like Chancellor Palpatine Blue because I thought that with the Han matchup, a lot of people might just play taller than it, and I was a little bit more concerned about run into a lot of control. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I just do the Chancellor Palpatine, so I have access to the Anakin, which I thought I was really high on, and kind of felt going into the set, if there was a deck that could utilize Anakin to its fullest potential, it was going to be the best deck, which kind of ended up being the case to an extent. So yeah, I played Ray Tarkentown. I finished my day 4, 3, and 1. The draw yet again came out of round 1. I drew my round 1 yet again.
Oh jeez.
So I played against, funnily enough, Chancellor Palpatine Blue in round 1.
The other deck you were thinking of.
The other deck I was thinking about, and I was able to win game 1, and then he killed me like right when time was called game 2, so we didn't even get to game 3 at all. I thought to myself, man, do I concede this? Do I concede? Like, I don't want to go into this draw bracket because I'm thinking I know I'm going to run into Kylo's potentially, which after the weekend before playtesting, Michael here did not give me confidence into playing into Kylo. That man walloped me.
That was rough. Yeah.
It was a little rough. So I was thinking, but at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? I consider this in Minneapolis. Not conceding round 1 in Minneapolis worked out for me. I made day 2 there, so I was like, you know what? Let's just play it out. I proceeded to win the next 2 rounds. Second round, I actually got up paired to an undefeated who was playing the Kylo Tarkentown deck, and I was able to actually 2-0 that pretty reasonably, which kind of surprised me to an extent. But the unfortunate thing being is everyone got to see everyone's lists, so I kind of knew exactly what to expect. I kind of just saw how the deck played out, knew how I wanted to counter it, and
yeah. So how did you counter it? What did you do? Like, what was?
So pretty much my strategy for it was just because I noticed that he was not running very many units in general. Just make sure that he doesn't have a unit to stick, right? So because a lot of the deck is, well, you're running a lot of upgrades that you can just put on random units. Your unit, you're running force units to put force lightning live, to put force throw live, and so the idea was just keep removing his units. I know that I have to deal with the Kylo, but I felt like I had tools in order to deal with the Kylo, and he wasn't going to be, and the way the game was playing out, he wasn't going to be able to kill me quickly enough, especially with the restore. So in the games, he ended up having like dead force throws, dead force lightnings, and I did run into him later in the event, and he said that I was only lost in Swiss, so he did make day 3. But
Cool.
I 2-0'd him. I then played into a Han 2 blue, which honestly was kind of one of my craziest Han 2 blue matchups ever. I won that 2-1 after losing a like 30-minute game one.
Oh man.
And I'm like, oh, great. We're going to tie again at best. Because game one, uh, he won game one effectively because he dropped third crate on me, and I didn't have the out to the crate. But it's funny because I did not fell the dragon either of the two other crates that he had played earlier in the game. I actually did not play fell the dragon that game at all. Because I had to discard one at like turn 2 for a force throw. And then I never drew another one, so I traded to the other two crate dragons, and then he dropped the third one when the turn before I regional governored, called Luke Skywalker because he had not played any Lukes. He was out of Mace Windu's, so all he had left was the third crate. He had the third crate, and then at the end of the game, he showed me triple Luke in hand.
Ah.
And I was like, no. But games 2 and 3, I was able to pull out, and I was able to beat him before time. Technically, game 3, I beat him like as time was called, so that worked out great. So I'm 2-0-1, and I'm like, okay, this is going pretty well.
Yeah.
I then ran into back-to-back Han 2s the next 2 rounds.
It's got to be kind of mind-numbing.
Where my tournament just kind of died, because it was just this period where I was not drawing well at all. They were drawing exactly what they wanted, exact curve that they want. I saw like no force throws in any of these matches. I never won initiative. There was like I would see like one Luke between the whole match in both games. I would whiff off of Owen. Like it was just a rough go these 2 rounds. And then after that, I'm like, please don't let me play Han 2. Please just let me play something else. Because my day is obviously done. I'm not making day 3. I'm
unfortunately at that point.
2-2-1 at that point. Then I thankfully played Cad Bane, and I'm kind of happy with this matchup. Because
I would imagine you are.
Yeah, because going in, I actually had anticipated that I was going to run into a little bit more aggro than expected, a little bit more Vader, a little bit more space stuff. So I had actually prepared for that a little bit more. I ended up playing none, but that's what draws do, right? That's I'm not going to play against those typically, but I played against the Cad. It was my first time I won initiative, so I was like, cool, that doesn't matter. First two games, I turn 1 go pass, and he passes, and then that game 1
and he passed.
Then proceed to what?
He passed.
Yeah, I have initiative against the Cat. I pass, and he passes.
Yeah,
back.
And then he passed. Okay.
Yep, and then I play like a Yoda turn 2, and he then plays into it, Tarkin Townsend, etc. Which honestly, maybe I should have just passed, because he ended up winning that game pretty handedly, I think. I eventually got to a point where I had triple Luke in hand, but I just couldn't kill anything with the Luke because I never got to keep anything on board, and everything had like 4 more health. But then game 2, same kind of thing. I have initiative, I pass, he passes. Then I'm like, well, I don't really see the point in playing a unit, so I'm going to pass. And he passes.
I don't think that's the right call for him at all.
And that's kind of where I was thinking too.
At some point, he needs to play the game.
Yeah, he should have just played on turn 1, in my opinion. He should just.
I think part of it was he also just didn't have a play.
Oh, that's fair.
It just worked out that way, but I still have to pass. But
for sure.
But game 2, I end up winning. After all that, because I just kind of am able to maintain stuff on board. I force throw a crated as Cad Bane on flip, and then he just kind of loses after. I think he just said, "Let's go to game 3." After I did that, if memory serves,
makes sense. I would too.
And what was so funny, I forget if it was game 1 or game 2, but I'm thinking, oh man, I'm drawing bad. I'm whiffing off of Owen all this. Well, in one of those games, he plays a Jabba, looks at the top 8. Shuffles it, puts it on bottom. I have an Owen that dies like that turn or the turn after. I look at the top 5, shuffle, put him on bottom. and then he McClunkies that Jabba, replays it, looks at the top 8, shuffles, puts it on bottom, and I'm like, that kind of day, huh? So we just whiffed on everything that we could have possibly looked at there. And then game 3, I mulligan into no turn 1. I go pass,
Oh.
and he plays a card. So I just kind of never got any way to play the board at that point in the game. I was dead before my Ray flipped, so it was just a rough go there.
Which is what he should have done the other 2 times.
Yeah.
Right. But the next 2 rounds, right? 2 more rounds. That'd be 2, 3, 1. Yeah, so that'd be 6 rounds. So I got 2 more rounds. So I play another Hantu Blue. I win that 2-0. I win that 2-0, and then I play against the same boss Data Vault that Landon had played earlier in the rounds in my final round, and I was able to win that 2-1. It was a nail biter, very close. I just was able to drop the right stuff at the right time.
So you were the one from Omaha who saw all the... Did you take all the Hantu Blues? I saw one of them the whole time.
Apparently.
Blues. I told Landon and Daniel should have gone in the draw bracket.
Yeah, well, I was in there. I saw none of them.
I played 2 on day 1.
Yeah, and like I didn't like not want to see Hantu Blue, but I knew that they were going to be tough because like going into the event, I was like, I feel like I can beat the slightly above average player with that's playing Hantu Blue, but it still comes down to how well I draw, how well they draw, who has initiative, and how good the player is. And so I won half of them. So, I guess I'll take that. And that was on top of me what
That
felt
feels
like just drawing atrociously. But yeah, it would have been nice to see how things would have gone without a draw bracket and maybe played some aggro decks because I think like until I played the boss Data Vault deck, I had only sided in 4 cards for my side deck.
Bell Rivals,
Rivals, Tech, Third Crate, and I'm forgetting something. I don't remember. Maybe I sided in like a random Confiscate. I think I sided in 1 random Confiscate against the Kylo deck.
Makes sense.
So like half of my sideboard for the most part was just not used for the event because I didn't run into aggro.
Yeah, mine as well. I had the exact same effect. The one time I put more than half my sideboard in was against Iden Data Vault, and it was more of a just good lord get me cards in the deck situation, as opposed to these are helpful.
Right.
All right.
So
well,
I mean, I was okay with the result. I got my my bonus black packs and stuff. So
exactly.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I mean, obviously, I think the competitive spirit in just about everybody, is like, I wish I could have done better, but also I'm beyond incredibly proud of everybody who made it out and the results that they, worked hard to get. Like Ben, I don't know if you're going to listen to this ever, Ben. When you went 0-3 and turned it around up to 4-4, I was peak happy. It was so awesome to see, especially because you were playing a deck you had played like a few months ago and hadn't kind of seen the game in a little while, and then just like made a run to get an extra couple silver packs there right at the end.
Like 2 months of not playing comes out, goes 50-50.
Man got married in the whole middle of that and still comes in.
That's killing it. Like I said, I went 4-2-2, and I have been playing for the last 2 months. So I mean,
dude, that's how this meta felt though. Like the last, like I don't think I made a wrong decision jumping to Kylo ECL, but maybe it was just the wrong color. Apparently.
apparently just wrong color.
Yeah, I should have taken
that's pretty much how I felt.
The podcast namesake.
Everyone knew going in Worlds was literally just going to be a matchup game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so
Totally.
like, Landon wanted to see more Hantu Blues. Saw 1. I assumed I'd play 4 Hantu Blues and hope to only drop 1 and win the rest of the matchups, but I played Ended up dropping 2. I hope to see like multiple matchups into Mother Talzin. I saw none. So
Yep, me too.
yeah,
I
it's
was
just
hoping for Talzin and Hantu Blue and Anakin, and saw none of those.
Right. I'm gonna jump through some of these questions that have been starting.
Oh, do it.
Larson was
Jump.
asking for Steven and Landon, and Daniel, if you want to type in the chat. So for those who don't know already, there was about a 10-minute window that all of the day 1 deck lists were revealed to the tournament. That includes the people who converted over into day 2. That means only the day 1 lists. The day 2 lists were not revealed. So what FFG decided to do was release all day 2 list players to the public, so that at the beginning of a matchup or beginning of a round, you could look over your list as if it was top cut in larger events. For you guys, how did you feel about this? Both the news of it happening and at the beginning of rounds. Was it like something that you felt was negative for you, positive for you? Because I know you said you played against Kylo, Steven, so you kind of got at least a learn down of what was going on. But
yeah, at least for me, it felt like it only really helped me the first 2 rounds, or I felt like it gave me the advantage the first 2 rounds of the tournament because I played Chancellor Palpatine Blue, and because I got to see his list, this man was not running New Vader. Like you would think that Chancellor Palpatine
Sorry,
Blue
what?
was running Sheehan Flurry Vader. He was not running Sheehan Flurry Vader, and I asked him about it, and he's like it's just not good at like you only want to use it with Sheehan Flurry. And he was just like, it's otherwise just not good enough. So he was running the Qui-Gon instead. So he was running the 7.5 Qui-Gon. And,
really? Oh, I guess yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I mean, like, you know, I don't know. I think that was beneficial in some sense there. So I also have I'm playing regional governors in my list, so it's a little bit more beneficial. And then round 2, obviously seeing the Kylo list, I have no idea what's in this list. I take a look and I'm like, this thing has like no units, and like 20 upgrades. So
did he have Mahdi?
I think he had 1 Mahdi.
Okay, I was just curious. There was a few there was a few of the Botha Network players that had Mahdi in the main and Mahdi on the side. So
it's so exciting to see a deck that's like a competitive deck have Mahdi in it. That's so cool.
We'll have a big old discussion about the boy of the weekend.
Oh boy, am I ready.
What did you feel, Landon, about the list being kind of revealed early?
So the open deck list, it both helped and hurt me a bit because, well, the big one was people knew I weren't running like Rivals Fall or certain cards in the main, so they could just be super aggressive with their like bigger units. But it also helped me in the same way where they're like, I'm going to run you down because I know you don't have as much early.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and set up combos earlier, kind of.
I'm still not a fan of how they proceeded to do it, but I think, unless you're like one of the Bothan players, I don't think you lost as much as you'd think.
I was going to say, it was probably better for the Kylo Tarkin Town decks.
See, it's funny because I feel like we think that, but I feel like all the Kylo Tarkentown players feel like they were disadvantaged more because
I agree.
Because they're like, this was an unknown deck going into the tournament, right? And now they know my exact list. Like the only benefit it feels like they got was, oh, I'm playing against blue. Are they playing Rivals Ball in the main and or the side? And it's like, that's good information. But aside from that, I feel like they were the most disadvantaged, even though they still did well.
Because I feel like they had so much of their, I don't know, success. I'm not saying it's not a good deck or good pilots or anything like that, because I think it is a good deck, and I think it personally is going to stick around. But I think there was a big surprise factor for day 1 anyways.
Yeah, no, I think part of it's both, right?
Right.
But I think that they hedged their bets, like their intentions are what matters there too. It's like it's same with like the Vader list that got top 8. They ran 3 outmaneuver in the main with no OB, and it's like there's probably very few people who even thought to take OB out of their Vader list at all. So it's it's one thing to prep for it constantly, and then it's like, all right, now how do I figure this out with perfect knowledge? Is such a stark difference. It becomes a little bit chess-like almost. But yeah, let's jump into. Let's see, that was Larson's question. Marcus had a question for the group. What was your favorite part of the Galactic Championship weekend? I've never been to anything like that before, and I had a blast. My favorite part might have been drafting with the creators. We had some really good conversations. My actual favorite part, man, I'm always a sucker for watching the finals. Honestly, it made me super freaking tired, but just running pods all Saturday, like from the minute I got into that convention hall, I stood in line, and the line process wasn't my favorite. It was pretty awful throughout the weekend for different things, but having a group of 8 folks that I could just like begin to cycle them, and the amount of tickets we were able to get like wrapped up for everybody was awful, but I wouldn't have done it any other way. If it came down to it, I wouldn't have done that by myself in a million years. So it was a good experience, and I think a lot of us walked away with quite a bit. So how about you, Landon? What was your favorite part of the weekend?
I really enjoyed the day 3 after everything, just playing Twin Suns and messing around, just watching. I do like how they finally put the game up on the TVs by the stage. I don't know why they wait so long for that, but
yeah, that's kind of strange as a production thing.
no, I just liked day 3 playing Twin Suns games, messing around, having a bit of fun with everybody.
Stephen, Michael?
You want to go first, Michael?
Sure. My favorite part, I think I agree with Landon. I really had fun on day 3 watching the finals and just playing games at the table where we were all kind of congregated and just hanging out and not having any pressure. And also watching the absolutely insane prize wall line just not at all go by me because it wasn't moving. So that was crazy. But other than that, it was actually drafting. I had a really cool couple of drafts that I did, and one of them I had a very weird like leader base situation, with the 2 people next to me, and made the right guess and just happened to be past every card I needed, and I basically built a constructed Mother Talzin deck and just ran the table.
Yeah,
and that was pretty fun.
When life hands you lemons, you give them -1/-1, right?
Exactly. Yeah, correct. When you're given 3 Talzin's Assassins, a Karis, multiple, of everything you need.
I hate to hear that.
So that was fun. That was after I had gotten all the tickets that I needed and wanted, right, for everything. So I just was sitting down to just like play.
Yeah.
And that was a really good time. So I think that was mine.
It was nice just chilling there. We playing those Twin Suns games with like no time expectations or like rush.
Yeah, no stress, no pressure.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Mine was kind of twofold. I mean, one was kind of just a nicety of the event. So for me, it was kind of one of the first times where it felt a little bit more involved as just as a star, it's a Star Wars event. So, we got a little bit more just Star Wars ambiance with, there was an R2-D2 rolling around, life-size TIE Fighter and X-Wing around. You had the Millennium Falcon
cool.
cockpit
Super cool.
available there. So it was just like, it was just kind of those little extra things that kind of helped the little the little kid that loves Star Wars just be like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Stormtroopers walking around.
I must be that little kid because that's what I said.
So that was one of the things that I loved about it. The other thing too was I really enjoyed interacting with a lot of the people, even just outside of the group that we went with. We got to see a bunch of the Central Spacers who we see typically at the events that the PQs we go to in Kansas City and Iowa. Same with just me running into a bunch of the guys in the Des Moines area again. I know Adam and we got to go, collect our KTOD mats, which was nice. And I also got to meet, several people from doing the side event pod. Since I had my day one buy, I ran the side events day one. I got to meet a couple of, Europeans, just people from outside the States, which are nice, and particularly two guys that I did my day one pods with for side event tickets. I ran like 4 pods with them. We ran into them again at In and Out on Saturday night after day 2.
That was pretty crazy.
And then again day 3, I saw them leaving the convention hall and they stopped to say goodbye. So it was just like, it was really cool to meet new people, just kind of just feel the connection with people that just enjoy the same, that just love the same things you do. So
yeah.
I completely agree. I thought that was cool too. That's a good point. There was a lot of people I saw that I met at Minnesota or at a PQ. 3 different people. One of them who came to dinner with us, Ben. I just had met him as an opponent in Minnesota, and then I walked past him and was like, "Hey." We started chatting, and then he played with us, and then he came to dinner. So it's so cool how you can do that kind of fun stuff. That was at the dinner at whatever that place was that we all went, the Yard House. God, that was delicious.
It was a good time.
It was very good.
That was really good.
And just to briefly touch on it again, that the community was excellent. I know you have you have some interactions with opponents, which is fine, but like just from a overall perspective and how considerate and honest people were, at least from what I could tell, was great. I know that we had a local that lost a Twin Suns deck pod with double showcases in it. I heard other instances of deck pods getting left behind and stuff was immediately returned. Nobody just took something for themselves. For at least I haven't heard a story of anybody losing something and not being able to collect. You did?
Yeah, I did. Somebody got actually the same guy. He got his deck stolen out of his deck box. And couldn't play day 2.
It is unfortunate. It is something that, obviously that like you never wish upon anybody going to an event like this. But I've heard more good stories than bad, which is...
Yeah. I mean, hey, out of 3,000 plus people, if that happened once...
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, that's awesome compared to any... No. I feel like many other card games are much more... I don't know.
Any other card game, I would not expect anything lost to be found.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
No, there would be zero faith.
So I'm sure there's going to be those like bad apples, so to speak, or those one-off instances. I'm sure, like that's just going to happen with that amount of people. But on the whole, I feel very comfortable, and it was very cool.
Yeah, and what's great, like everybody that I had an interaction with there, staff, people, it came down to like if they weren't having a good time, you could tell. But also those who were having a good time, you could also physically tell. It was really nice because like Steven said, we're all here sharing this like incredible thing. It was more of a convention than it was a tournament, if you really wanted it to be. And in the artist alley, I'm sitting there talking with people. I watched the trailer of the new set come out like on a TV right over next to me. I saw, we all got the picture at the TIE Fighter and the X-Wing, the other picture booth. We all hopped in line for the Darth Tyrannus promo. I was up at the prize wall a few times up before Sunday, and I was just checking stuff out with whoever was there. Like I would run into one of you guys or, vice versa. And it was just like, look at all this cool stuff, like mm-hmm. I know like there was a lot of terrible stuff that happened or, not convenient, and we can talk about some of it. But at the end of the day, this was a hell of a memory. That's kind of what I've taken away from it the most. Like we're done. We did it. And now, they've already announced that season 1 is officially in swing. We've got our points breakdowns. We've got tournaments already in a week and a half. And, no rest for the wicked. But, like, we're gonna, continue to do what we're doing as best as we can. And so will hopefully FSG, in my opinion. Slowly but surely, they're gonna kind of hopefully take away a lot from this event. I know Ryan's been in the chat talking about their lines. There was a long line, and bless the heart of Sam and those who stood in the line on Sunday. I had kind of checked out all my tickets on Saturday night, but they know where the area is to improve next year for sure.
I hope so. Yeah.
Well, if we're all going back, so
we'll find out, right?
Yeah. I have a feeling that these things will be something that's addressed a lot sooner than just up to the event. You know what I mean? It would be a great idea for them to have scannable QR codes so that they have limits on stuff.
Limits, I think, have to be implemented. That's like the bare minimum.
Did anybody else watch that video? I think it was floating around today on some of the Star Wars YouTube stuff. There was a guy,
I think I did.
The guy who bought what was it? Was it 3,000? Or it was 1,500 Super Laser Blasts.
Yeah, because he bought 3,000 tickets.
Yeah, he spent 15
3,000 side event tickets and just handed them in.
Yeah, he spent 15 grand and picked up. This is a rumor, so don't take it for word. But when they ran out of Super Laser Blasts, I think it was like 2 p.m. on Saturday, and then everything else started to kind of slowly trickle out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I was if you got the bank to do it, but the morality is not there. So
no, that couldn't have been possible.
No, that also shouldn't have been within their guidelines at all.
Right. My thought is like, what if, similar to I think the video you're talking about, and not that like, we like you said, it's a rumor, right? We don't know if that's actually verbatim what happened, but let's say that it is. Doesn't it seem logical that the people are just like, yeah, no, let's not do that. We're not going to give you 1,500.
You should just shoot that down.
That's not going to work. Yeah.
Yeah, and even let's cut that number down by a tenth. All right, it's like 150. That should not still happen.
No.
So, but that's learning pains, and unfortunately, the community suffered. There was a lot of things that led up to that. There were shortages on prize wall tickets. There was shortage on prize wall entry passes. There was long lines to get into every event. There was lines for every exclusive thing that they put in the convention, including like the league play line, the passport line, the registration line. Nothing was quick. Other than even the tournament had some kind of delays in between rounds, but they got better as the weekend went on. Unfortunately, though, the ball just rolled all the way into Sunday, and there was really no stopping that 3.5 hour long line.
I was glad I got all the stuff I wanted by the end of Friday, early Saturday.
Yes,
I'm glad you did
Put in
too.
these.
Because I was like, I knew playing in the event day 2, I'm like, I was worried about Luke and Vader.
Yeah,
them running out. I wasn't really worried about anything else, but I also wasn't really high on getting anything else. Those were the two things that I want. So I was luckily able to get those day 1 with some people being able to lend me prize wall tickets. I could.
Landon's showing them off right there.
For. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten my prize wall tickets till the start of day 2, right?
Yeah, you would have been.
And then I don't have time to stand in the prize wall line.
No.
To get them. And by the time
day 2's line, there was no line day 2, really.
Oh, wasn't there? Okay.
No.
I
It
probably would not have been able to get them until day 3, and they would have been sold out by the time, when I showed up, the line was already a 3-hour wait. So I wouldn't have gotten to them.
I stood in the line for an hour and a half, I think, in the prize wall line on Sunday. Halfway through my standing in line, they said there's no more Krennic promos, and that was what I was going up there for. And there were no more silver packs, which was also what I was going up there for. And then no more Vader showcase. So I said, okay, what should I get? And everybody was like, just get the Luke promo, like the Luke showcase. You have the tickets. So I was like, okay, I will. I will. I wasn't going for the showcases, but I'll do it. I got up there. Luke was gone. So I bought like a Carbonite pack.
Oh.
And like a couple of Rey and Kylo promos. And then like a map. It was really disheartening. Got a showcase in my Carbonite promo or Carbonite pack though, but still.
You got the power or Major Von Rig, right?
Yeah, it's much better. Yeah, the $40 Major Von Reg is much better than the $350 Luke for sure. I'm definitely telling myself that.
Yeah, I was gonna say because with FFG and stuff, because we went into the event and they were like, we're making sure that people aren't going to be able to farm side event tickets, right? You're gonna have to play the event. The judge is gonna, monitor, etc. You can't just like do all of these things, right? And
Sure.
it kind of felt that way at the start of Friday. And then because the line was so long for side events, I feel like FFG kind of panicked a little bit.
They gave up.
they kind of gave up. Which I mean, it's like, they may have kind of had to because
there was no
you're gonna
real
have more complaints about not getting stuff than you are than you probably would if people are like, oh, they ran out of stuff, right?
But does that mean they needed to let us just quite literally buy things directly with cash off the wall, essentially?
Yeah, being able to buy prize wall tickets, or I guess you bought side event tickets and then could exchange them.
Yep.
Effectively as prize wall tickets.
Yeah, I mean it's the same. It's an extra step to basically handing them cash and saying, "Here you go, give me the stuff I want," which is a little ridiculous. I would have been totally fine with that if they did that on Sunday or something.
Yeah, I think that's only permissible like the second half of Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That is what they did on Sunday. Like Sunday morning is where the exchange was supposed to happen. That's what.
But people were doing it on Friday night. Friday night, I went up and thankfully, I got 2 super laser blasts on Friday night before they ran out. But I didn't get my third one, and I came in the next morning and they were gone. But somebody next to me handed them side event tickets and told me, they're worth 100 apiece.
Yep.
And I was like, okay.
And by the way, Ryan, you could farm side event tickets. By midday Saturday, you could farm side event tickets. I know of a guy that got 20,000 side event ticket or prize wall tickets prize wall tickets from just splitting constantly.
I mean that's great. That's I'm fine with. But
I think I farmed somewhere about 6, 7 over the course of the day. It's even that wasn't supposed to happen. But also, there was a whole bunch of issues with staffing in regards to A, setting up the event, B, judging whatever, pod that was spawned. And then from there, it was just cycling. And, you can get into all the descriptions about it. But at the end of the day, I don't think the judges cared nearly as much as they were able to, which is unfortunate for them because I'm sure that they don't want people doing it. But at the end of the day, they discounted the Luke's Invaders. So they wanted people to go spend these tickets, which was a huge, but this all kind of snowballed from at the very beginning where they were just short on side event entry tickets. So that is why Friday was such a shit show, because
I would argue that the real issue, I mean, that's like a logistical problem, right? Or an operational issue that they ran out of side event. How do you do that? I don't understand how that's possible. But that aside, like Sam said in chat right now, part of the issue that I completely agree with is that VIPs had early access and there was no limits.
That also.
So by the time we got into the hall, stuff was gone. Which I think that's the limit issue is the real problem.
And I think everyone agrees with that, and everyone is saying that the solution to that is you need to tie your limit to your registration badge.
Yeah.
And Like, I don't think that's particularly difficult. But guess
No.
what? If you don't want to invest the resources to do that, you know what you do? You print a punch card or some kind of card that every entrant gets.
There you
When they
go.
come to the prize wall,
Or
you
you
just
just-
mark what
you
they've
could-
received. And if people want to sell you their punch card, so be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could literally just punch your registration ticket.
Totally.
You know? And
Totally.
Yep.
that's
There's so
like,
many easier ways to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so
and-
many ways. I mean, weren't they supposed to do that with the Tyrannus promo? They were supposed to scan your badge and they weren't.
They did. They didn't scan our badge because I think that by that point on Sunday, they just kind of they gave up, which is okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Because I think that they were in full on. You know, I know you guys mentioned in the chat over here the weekly play packs, regular packs. Like, I opened so much stuff that it was actually obnoxious. I gave it all to a buddy of mine that was there with us that weekend, and you know
LP.
what? Yes, yeah, Steven.
Yeah.
He you know, he was happy to get a whole bunch of cards, but I had no. Does it make up for it? Not really. But you know what? At the end of the day, like, also, it's not. This is the fault of all the staff there. Every time I made sure to interact with them, it was like, hey, I'm asking this. I'm sure you've been asked it, but thank you for doing what you're doing, and I know you're working hard. I know you're getting paid. I hope that people aren't, you know, being completely rude about this, because, like, at the end of the day, you're just yelling at someone that is just trying to do their job, whether or not they do it well.
Agree.
Yeah. Yep, exactly, Daniel. They were in the same boat as us. Like, we could mutually agree that there was a lot of things that went wrong, but we're still human, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's tough because we want, like, I think it's very valid for us and everybody to say, hey, this was a big problem. Like, we need to say, hey, this sucked. Like, this was not good. Please do better next time. But at the same time, I think that doesn't, like, that can easily overshadow, like you're saying, that the event itself was still really fun.
Yes.
Really good. Overall, I had an absolute blast. I will go again. I'm glad I went. These are all complaints that are, like, valid complaints, but it doesn't take away from the fact that the weekend was overall just great. You know?
Yeah, it was a great weekend. What
it was great.
Rate out of 10 their overall, like, FFG, or the, you know, how well the overall event was ran, how it went, etc.
How would I rate it?
I know the tournament went over time most about every round, but at the end of the day, you're playing a gigantic tournament full of every variety of deck. This was both the second largest and largest, I think, tournaments run in FFG. Or no, not this, but like
but
no,
for
just
Star
the
Wars
largest.
Unlimited, yeah.
There's going to be issues, and with the amount of staff that, you know, like, that was the thing over the weekend. There obviously either wasn't enough to what they had thought, and it's just going to be a logistical issue. And unfortunately, that means if things can't get flagged for, like, when they need to at the end of a match, or, you know, they've gone to time, there's nothing really else to do, you know.
I didn't have an issue with the time in the tournament myself.
I don't know of any delays from day one, but day two, it felt, you know, stuff. Sure, there were instances where it was like 10 minutes over. But like, that honestly doesn't feel that long. And like, if
I'm kind of happy to have a 10-minute break between my rounds.
No.
I mean, it feels worse when you're an aggro deck and you finish in 20 minutes. Then
that's a fair point. Sure, but you know, that's different. But, and also, to answer your question, I would personally say, like, I would give them like a 6 out of 10 overall, because I think those issues with all the pricing and all that stuff that's a sour taste. But
there
at the same time,
just for those,
it was like a well-run tournament. The venue was really enjoyable to be at. I loved all the vendors. I thought I didn't have to wait in line for food for 45 minutes, which was cool. Like, that was a big deal. There were actually plenty of bathrooms, also a huge deal. But like, I feel like the experience
was like yay big.
Yeah. I feel like the experience, though, like, overall, the experience was really positive. But then those negatives kind of knock it down a bit. But
I think that right now, and this is just like off my at least off the top of my head, what they could do to like save some face from this is just create like a link only accessible to those who attended the event, that if they would like to buy, any of the not silver packs, but the prize wall cards. I don't know about the showcases, but that's up to them. But yeah, like if you said, the Super Laser Blast in particular, if you said, here's an email at them that you can buy up to 3 of everything because you were there, but you might not have been able to get something, I would feel much better about that. And I'd feel like that they cared in a way that like they know they're acknowledging their issue. And even if they don't do that, like I want some, form of confirmation, which I have a decent amount of confidence that they're going to discuss it either in a video or, make some kind of statement.
They would.
I would hope so.
Yeah. I don't know what they'll do about it. I don't know if they'll do like allow you to do what you're suggesting or not. I mean, if they did, I'll probably buy it. Things, but
it would just be a good, like, it would be good for the community because I'm sure it may cost them a bit to do this, but at the end of the day, they put a physical value on everything when they said, here, let me pay for this part of the prize wall. So if they'll let us do it again for those who didn't get something, then it's at least, also punishing those who spent $15,000 on buying tickets.
Right. So I've not played a previous FFG game personally. I think you guys have. I don't know if all of you have, but and so I don't know if this is like a recurring type of struggle that FFG has. But I have to say, I think for any of the issues or any of the things that have happened, like game balance wise or just in general, so far they're like super responsive, which is awesome.
Yeah,
that's been my experience so far, anyways.
X-Wing was slow to respond to things, but like we're talking about a whole different landscape of like gaming. It's both a tabletop game,
I'm sure too.
Yeah, and differently run organizations, and like that was almost 10 years ago now, so I can't like complain. But as far as the card game background, Pokemon's just a whole nother beast. They can afford to pay out everyone and everything because obviously they're Pokemon and they don't really care. So they'll hire the best. They'll hire extra staff.
I was gonna say Pokemon events always have extra staff when I went to like the regionals and stuff.
Yeah.
And with this being the first Worlds, I wonder too if they might get more volunteers for the future years, because from all indications, it sounded like the judges were pretty well compensated for this event. And if they,
I think they all got like
that, yeah, like they got paid room, paid flight. They were given like a bunch of prize wall stuff, including the Luke and Vader showcases just by default. They got paid on top of it. They got 3 paid meals.
And they got judge promos exclusive.
Yeah, I was gonna say they got all the judge.
You got judge promos. So if they're able to, if they continue to do a good job compensating judges there, I don't think that they're going to struggle to get more people, especially those individuals that are like going for a very particular reason. Maybe they think that like, oh, it'd be fun, but to just go, but I don't want to play in the main event.
I know Laura wants to look into being a judge.
Yeah, I know we have a few who are.
It's my wife, for anybody who doesn't know.
And that's unfortunate, Eric. I see that they did. I would hope that just like everything else, that let's just say they print extra next time. So
the math.
It doesn't hurt to have extra stuff.
No. Man, there's a lot that could be discussed and all that. I think we touched on quite a bit of it. Yeah, at the end of the day, if I am able to, I will be there next year 110%. The community outshined every little bit of negativity to me. All of my opponents were... my round 1 opponent was someone who flew all the way in from Korea, because there's like 10 players from Korea. And he is one of them, and he was like, yeah, I might be the only one here. And I had such a good...
in general.
Yeah, like 10 whole players, he thought.
10 whole people.
I think my round 1 in day 2 was New Zealand.
That's crazy. I love to see that. I played against a guy from Sweden, and he had like an 18-hour flight or something. He said, really nice guy. But it was cool to see. I don't know about you guys, but I personally haven't really experienced like a melting pot of cultures like that, quite like that before.
It's especially like we're talking about, the venue and the place. Vegas will bring in, I mean, it's just one of those tourist attractions that, like, out of country, this is something that most people would be like, this is prime America. This is what I'm going to go over here and do. To which I say I'm sorry, because Vegas it's okay. But
it was crazy to me when I heard some of the Europeans say their flights back to Europe were cheaper than ours.
Wow.
That hurts.
That blew my mind.
That makes me really depressed.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand, but
also, just as a side note on the money topic, out of you three, I know I haven't. Have you guys been to Vegas before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, you all three had. I had not. This is my first time going to Vegas. Why is everything literally twice the cost?
Because
great answer.
It's a tourist city. When you go to a tourist city, everything costs more. Taxes are higher.
This is true, but I've never experienced it quite like that. It was almost comical. I bought Starbucks and I bought the normal order that I usually get, and it was literally twice the cost.
I paid.
It's taxes and tourist attraction because
insane.
Like if you notice, like taxes were.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like little about 8.5%. Something like that.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, honestly,
mine
isn't
was like kind of shocking.
Eric nailed it. Just go a mile off, and it's all
go a mile off the strip. It's cheaper as well. So
that makes total sense. But it is kind of mind blowing your first time going to Vegas.
Oh, for sure. And what's nice is that, like, the hotel we all stayed at, or I think the majority of folks stayed at, because we're not all Daniel,
we didn't win some big event.
Was pretty close. It was a good walk. It wasn't too bad. The weather felt wonderful because we all came back to the humidity that is absolutely probably where Ogdo Bogdo was born. But like, it's
you're gonna hate it. I'm the opposite.
Back in the humidity.
You like this?
Well, okay. It's nice just having some humidity, so that way, like,
it's nice that my throat's not bleeding
and crack and all.
That's fair.
Like,
yeah.
Not, like there are elements of the humidity that are nice.
I completely agree. We landed and I felt the doors open and was like, "Oh my god, I can breathe again." The dry air, man. I don't know what it is, but it does not agree with me. I had chapped lips the night we landed, and I felt like I couldn't take deep breaths.
I was the exact opposite. It felt like I could just. My lungs were. It's like when I go to Colorado. It's like my lungs just open up.
Oh yeah, totally opposite for me.
So nice. That is crazy. The Venetian as a hotel was absolutely absurd. Daniel, you had a 15-minute walk within the hotel, so that was pretty. Yep, I had to wear my back to tank. That is true. Every night I turned.
Did you guys walk in through like the shop entrance and walk through the whole shops to get to the venue the first time? We did that, and it was like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Or
something. And by the time we got to the event, I was like, I don't even care. I don't even want to be here anymore. This was crazy.
You could get lost and I was sober. Like
yeah, right. Same.
It's like, what the hell?
And not everybody was.
Yeah, it's true. Larson, Steven.
I don't know what you're talking about. I had a great Sunday night. I woke up. I was mostly
got on the plane.
Got on. I think I may have felt sick for a moment, but I blame Larson for that. I think he just got in my head.
That's fair. I had to sit next to the both of you with barf bags on the plane. So
I did not get sick. I think
you
it was
didn't.
all
You
in my head.
didn't.
I did not get sick.
That's fair. Man, there are so many good pictures and so many good memories that are going to be, and it's so much more excitement for the next one. We should also touch on this because I don't know. Yeah, we didn't. Kylo Tarkentown came out swinging this weekend. It was really cool from the Botha Network. I know you played against it, Steven, but what are your all thoughts on this deck? Obviously, it's going to kind of hinge on whether or not Force Throw gets banned, because that's something we'll discuss about as well. But
that's kind of critical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of indifferent because I feel like it's one of those decks that also Force Throw is nice to have, but it's not needed in the deck to win.
That's fair.
I agree.
Because what does it have to enable it?
Like airing raids in replacement of it, and it's still.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's fair because you really want to just Witch of the Mist, Force Throw them Tarkentown, turn 1. Like that's the reason it's there.
But you probably don't play Witch of the Mist anymore without Force Throw.
Probably not. Well, Force Lightning maybe.
But you could probably just play a 2-drop Force unit.
Yeah, like a not bad one. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
The reason I think
that's the thing. I'm like, what early Force drops does that deck run other than Witch?
I'm not sure. I don't
Witch,
know that it's
Secretive
actually running.
Sage, Karis.
Oh, that's right.
Say Migs is the big one, and I know Larson
Migs
brought
is
it up in
another
chat.
big card, yep.
Which is kind of, it's not just your Force Throws it's missing, it's going to be missing their Force Throws. And that's where Migs is was such a good call for the weekend. It's kind of crazy.
Migs is such a good card.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that this card, I don't think it was on radars for most people at all. Because usually it was just so close to being cemented in Tarkin or Kylo 2 that I wouldn't have even ever have imagined it. So getting to watch that deck play on, quarters and finals was super cool.
I agree.
And
I like looking up and saying, "Oh, Talzin, wow, they only have 6 health damage on base." I looked down, I made a play in my own game, I looked up, oh, 24 damage on base. That's something.
What happened?
Yeah, what?
You
just look, there's a Kylo with... Yeah, I was going to say, there's Kylo with 4 upgrades, 3 of which are Sith holocrons.
Dude, when he did that big hit on game 3 on stream in the quarters, I was like, holy cow. And it's so cheap, he can get away with it.
Truck incoming.
Yes. What's it called?
Mig or Mahdi out too.
Right?
Yeah, they'd be dead.
It takes, I think the Botha Network put a video out explaining a whole bunch of the rundowns of the deck, and they said that I think it's 5 resources, and you can snapshot double holocron for, what would that be, 6 plus 5 for 12?
11, 12.
So
12, right?
It's like a ridiculous number.
7 plus 5.
Well, because it's a 5/5 plus 1 for snapshot, plus 1 for Sith holocron, plus 1 for Sith holocron. So you're in 8/8. You get +2 for, or you get +2 for each holocron, so +4, so 12.
Yeah, 12.
So yeah, if
you dump one of those holocrons on Mahdi, 24.
Yeah.
I agree, though, Marcus. Definitely Force Lightning scares me more than Throw.
Interesting.
Yeah, right now, after how Steven and I both put it that we thought Talzin would, if you can pull it up, Steven, because I can't right now, pull up the picture that we made for our predictions last 2 weeks ago.
The picture? Oh, do I have it?
Yeah, I sent in our chat, but
it's like a picture, jeez.
We both guessed that Mother Talzin would be the best performing set 5 leader. But neither of us had it in our top 8. So
yeah. Do you want me to put it in chat, or do you want me to just take down my camera and put it over that?
Don't worry about it. All I know is that I beat you by half a point, so I'm the official undisputed.
Things that matter.
Things
that matter in life.
I guessed Kylo, but I did not guess the right Kylo. So.
Well, yeah, is that half a point? So you get 50% of a point because you got
half a point for
half a point.
Cool. Okay.
It was cool to see Wu make it all the way up to quarters. That was an awesome set to watch. All the named players like Ian or Lego Pizza, whichever one you prefer. He's been a big Vader player for a long time, so that was neat to see. But just as a whole, like what the Botha Network did this weekend was super cool.
It will not be matched for a long time.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And if we can go back to having make sure the deck lists are secret, like they should be, then that would be wonderful. Because I would love to try and do that with all of y'all. That would be even better.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I don't know. I agree with Landon though. I think that's going to be that's like a rarity. I think that that crazy of a deck comes out of nowhere.
Right. I don't think it will happen again because
No.
now people kind of expect are like, all right, what are the weird combos that we don't see initially?
Right.
Yeah.
I think it'll happen again in the future.
I think
not this set, but it'll happen.
I think that this game can create, like, we're only 5 out of 6 sets for what it was the entirety of a premiere. You know what I mean? Or the entirety of the premiere format. So, like, we have so much more to go until we see what the full card pool of this game is supposed to look like, that I think that this could happen more often than we think. I mean, it happens at showdowns. It happens at PQs all the time.
All it takes is making a meta call and just making the right one. Just realize that you put something together and you're like, this is really good into, the top 2 decks, and if you make that meta call, hit the right matchups, and you just perform.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fair. Yeah.
They even said in that video that like they were all either gonna boom or they were all gonna bust. So
there was no in between.
Yeah.
They chose correctly apparently because they boomed.
Yeah, they did.
They did boom.
Yeah. I mean, we look at us. We were like, yeah, Kylo, and then we were like, green.
Yep. Isn't that crazy that like I don't think a single ECO Kylo made day 3?
No, which blows my mind.
So it was something that a lot of people were like deathly afraid of, but it just could not hold up.
It's mainly because the Vader. The Vader presents so much, it flips tempo so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does present an enormous problem.
But yeah.
But I think also so does the Anakin ECL. I think Anakin is. I'm starting to think Anakin is a better card overall than Vader, anyways.
And Steven said it best, I think, 2 weeks ago. The deck that could use Anakin to the best of its ability is the deck that could take this whole thing home. And I can't remember what was the heroic enabler in
heroic resolve.
Resolve. Yeah.
Oh, for Tarkin, for Kylo or Talzin?
Talzin.
It was Kiadi Mundi.
Yeah, it was Kiadi. Off aspect Kiadi.
Well,
that's
there was
right.
also heroic sacrifice in some lists.
There's also that begs the question. Okay. What's the best card from set 5?
That man.
I still think Kiadi.
I don't know. That's a good question. Kiadi clearly performed. It was in 2 because there was 2 Hantu Blues. It was in the Talzin list. It might be still Kiadi just because he ran it out of aspect. It probably is because I don't think a single Vader ECL deck made top 8. No,
it didn't make top 8.
What?
No combination of Vader, like the new unit Vader and ECL, made top 8. It was 4 or 5 Tarkin towns. Oh,
5, yeah.
And then
they made day 3, but not.
Top 8. It was like they made G3. They just didn't make top 8.
Yeah.
But for the card that would be, it used to be referred to as the best.
For that matter, did any blue-green villain make top 8?
No.
It was Quinlan, 2 Hans, Han 4. Right now. Hold on, Han 4, Quinlan, 2 Kylos, 2 Hans,
2
Talzin.
Talzin, and
Vader.
Yeah, Vader yellow.
Oh, 1 Vader yellow?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He faced Talzin. So
Yeah, he instantly got the worst draw right at the beginning.
Yeah, he like hit his worst matchup immediately.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I saw
screwed.
his reaction when they announced the standings on stream. He was thrilled. So,
Oh yeah,
you know,
he auto
was
qualifies for the next one. He got top 8. He got the day 3 stuff, man. You want to talk about things that are very expensive right now? Holy cow! So
yeah, the Vader.
Did you guys see that on the Facebook SWU selling page or whatever it's called, marketplace?
Yeah.
Buy, sell, trade. I noticed that Sunday night, somebody posted a photo of the 3 championship Vaders and said 20,000.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm assuming he's doing it because he's trying to sell them for him, like in the country still. So.
Oh, that would make a lot of sense. Yeah.
Because I'm sure that would.
I was wondering about that, and I was wondering, did he sell them to this dude already, and this dude's selling them again? What's going on here?
Yeah, 750.
Yeah,
oh man, yeah, I would have scooped that up for 750. I'm gonna be honest, Sam. That would have been a steal. I think those cards are. I don't know. That pack sealed would definitely be something to hold. But
We're debating.
I saw online we're going for what, like $300?
Jeez.
the droid packs.
No, the black packs.
Oh, black ones, yeah, they're like $300 sealed.
I mean, I was mad. I opened them when I heard they were 100.
Yeah. There's a lot of value in those cards, and I'm just glad that, like, for those who are looking to get the sets of stuff, like, I know you got your 3 Vaders by the end of the weekend, right, Michael?
That was my goal, and I accomplished it, and I feel very happy about it.
Good, because I was sitting there, like, at every table I was at, I was like, do you guys, yeah,
thank you. Everybody, I have to say, so like our whole community, thanks to everybody, because everybody knew I wanted a 3rd Vader. And I kept having random people come up to me, this dude has a Vader, come with me. And it worked out. It worked out great, and we got them. And so thank you to everybody, and thank you especially to my wife, because she traded her cards for my Vader.
Oh.
So that was very nice of her.
That's love.
It is. That's how you know.
My wife would be looking at a card and be like, what is this? What do you expect me to do with this?
What is the point?
But bless her heart, she let me go. So yeah, so it is her Vader. That's a good one.
That's true.
Did you guys all make it to the artist wall? I just wanted to show some of these.
I didn't, but
I made it to you with you, but yeah.
That's
Did
fair.
you? We split. So Laura went to the artist wall, and I went and stood in the prize wall line. And she got the better end of the deal because I just stood in the prize wall line. So
Yikes.
that was fun, but yeah. So I didn't get to go myself, but I got my Kylo signed.
There you go. Wait, which one? Your showcase?
My showcase. No.
No. Okay.
God no. No, just the hyperspace Kylo that I had.
I want to show this little guy off. Let me see if
Is it the Shatter? Oh no, it's the Porg.
Yeah.
What did he draw?
He drew another
drew a
Porg on there.
Oh, sweet.
So, when you're in line, they gave you basically some portraits of some of the art that they have drawn, and they said they would sign those. Everything was for free, which was incredible.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So when we get back to League, I think this Sunday, I've got some of those to hand out to folks, or we can draft, or we figure out a way. But
that's cool.
I just wanted to give them out to the guys or the people who didn't get to go. I also have one of the ground unit token packs that was given to me just because there were so many lines on Sunday. Figure out what to do. I'll probably throw that in for like one of our upcoming showdowns and whatnot, so that we have some cool surprise support.
That's cool.
Yeah. Man. I guess the last thing would be, or second to last thing, Did anybody think Talzin would take this whole thing down?
No. I'm firmly no.
No?
I thought she would be in top 8, but I did not think she'd win.
Larson did,
Yeah.
true. Yeah. He was prepped.
Yeah.
I went in thinking the deck was massively overhyped, but I guess I didn't realize how good the Hantu matchup was.
That's exactly what I thought, Steven. I thought it was an overhyped deck, but still strong.
Yep.
I knew it was going to be red-blue deck. I just didn't think it was... I knew it wasn't going to be Hantu. I just didn't know what red-blue deck it was going to be.
I think that, I know Marcus mentioned it up earlier in the chat, but Force Lightning might be something that we genuinely have to deal with now for the next... probably the health of the rest of this, either rotation or the rest of this set. But she's probably the best enabler for that right now in the game. And until something else shakes it up otherwise, it will be basically in contention with how the other card that we all were kind of talking about before this was Force Throw.
We can give Alex his time in the sun because he was firmly on.
He's true.
Force Lightning is better than Force Throw for a while.
He I think Maul kind of cooked a little bit this weekend, but that's just
me.
That Maul deck was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, I think Maul is much better than it looks.
I just wish they had, like, I understand why they gave it the HP it has, but man, you tweak those numbers a little bit, and for a 6th deploy, I think he'd be absolutely insane.
Me too.
But
although there was some secret sauce, and I hope he's cool with me saying this, that we had put in his deck that him and I brainstormed, which was just 3 main deck planetary bombardments.
Ooh.
And that won, and I don't know about at the tournament, but in testing it won so many games because Maul would just ping all of the stuff on the board, and then they had no health on their units to dump the damage, so they just had to put it on base.
Huh.
And it was awful to deal with.
That's the deck that, well, not that deck, but I got home and the first thing I've been wanting to play has been Piet. So I've been playing Planetary Bombardment. It's been fun.
That Piet deck is scary.
It's silly.
If they can ramp early into Invisible Hand, ugh.
But yeah. Did anyone else have any questions down in the chat? We're at about an hour 30 now, so we can get to wrapping this up here shortly. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to talk about while they kind of shoot some stuff at us?
He wants to.
Oh,
he wants to start talk about Steven. Oh,
yeah.
New leader decided on stream.
Oh,
I don't know, man. If Talzin and Kylo are gonna be played everywhere, I kind of like that matchup. So why do I need to switch?
There you go.
Fair.
But no, I'm gonna be playing around since I don't think I can make the. It doesn't sound like I can make the.
Daniel, shoot me a message because I'm in those. That's what I'm here for. I want to do the big Doritos and do the Dorito damage.
I saw Marcus talking about it earlier, but the whole Luke Skywalker OG Luke, I've been sleeving it right now as we've been talking, but it's what I've been working on, trying to get ready.
Make Luke green again.
Exactly.
Oh man. Yep, exactly.
I miss Luke Green. That was so much fun.
I'd love to be, yeah, I know, right? We'd love to be able to use our showcases.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna try, and if I can't get it to work, I'm just gonna play Java.
I was trying to like go back to the Vader, think of a Vader list, but it's just like
there's got to be one. There has to be something.
I feel like it's still just the only good one is going to be a Data Vault list.
Probably
as inferior list to another leader.
You could just be playing like Piet Red or something, or Boss Data Vault or any of those, and just better top end them. I agree.
Exactly.
I'm probably stuck on the ECL train for the foreseeable future because I put quite a bit of effort into getting those promo Vaders, and if I can't play them, I'm gonna be pissed.
No,
So-
on the other hand, I'm jumping straight to the Talkin Town train. So we'll see how that one
So
goes.
I may be doing that as well, and then I'll be taking my Kira showcase and just putting that in the slot of the Kylo ECL deck.
The claw.
So-
Exactly.
I have a question for you guys. If Force Throw and I don't know Han 2 get banned, do we just go back to a Data Vault world?
No,
I wonder that too.
I don't think so because of the resurgence in these pilots. Like, I don't think Vader. I think Vader will actually continue to see play, whereas I was on such a hater for the card or for the deck, like going up to the weeks before because of all the terrible things you guys did to me. But I think that we're about to have especially if Force Throw gets banned, we might be on the birth of like a very wide aggro meta, like very wide aggro.
That's my fear too. I have that fear too.
I will actually bet money Force Throw does not get banned.
Oh, where's this confidence coming from? I need to. Where's your source?
I have heard news from other creators that they spoke to Tyler Perriott, and indications are that they are not looking to get rid of it.
Really?
Are they looking to get rid of nothing, or just
I'm
not?
only talking about Force Throw, but
Okay,
Okay.
interesting. I'm not convinced either way. Some days I'm like, God, I hate this card. When somebody force throws me back to back and I lose the game on the spot, or they force throw a crate onto my Kylo that I was gonna swing with for lethal, then I'm pissed and I want it to go. But then on other days when I'm playing Han 2, I'm like, nah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, you know. But no, in seriousness, I'm not convinced either way. I'm not sure that it needs to go, but I can see why they would. If they do it, I can understand why they would do it, because it can be a very negative experience. But I don't know that it has to.
Do we think anything's gonna go at that rate?
Ooh.
I don't.
They're in a tough spot, and I'm going to be honest. I don't think they can miss with any of them. I don't think any of them would be like things that I would say that, like, if they ban nothing, it's part of the wheel of choices. If they ban one of any of those, also fine. If they ban multiple, also fine. I don't know. I think that we need to give this meta still a little bit more time to like determine whether or not anything needs to go. But the top of my list right now is Force Throw, and then probably very, very closely followed by Force Lightning. Han 2 was a big problem, but clearly the meta worked around that. So
I was gonna say the problem is though everybody has to tech for that deck.
Right.
It's the same kind of problem as if you don't have a plan for it, you're just gonna lose, kind of like Boba back in the day.
yes,
Right. Not like Django, but like I feel like OG Boba, where it was like just
OG
a
Boba
little
was-
bit too good.
Yeah, OG
You know?
Boba's that has to be the best deck of all time, right?
Like, well, what, set 2 Boba or like
Yeah,
set 1 Boba where
Set 1 Boba.
both of them. Set 2 Boba Green was
Yeah, I was gonna say both, really.
see,
yeah, but I feel like
here's-
I don't know, set 1 Boba was like didn't feel like it was Django levels
yeah.
to me.
Here's the
Problem
thing
was-
someone pointed out, and I don't know, I can't remember where I heard this, but the thing with Django was that it choked out every other deck. There was no other deck that played as well as Django. Oh,
Right.
Triple Dark Raid is really good and a problem. You're not playing Triple Dark Raid in other decks, you're playing it in Django.
Right.
The benefit that Force Throw has along these other cards is it's played in numerous other decks, and for all its faults, we have a wide open meta.
That's very true. You're not wrong. Yeah. I mean that's
And so it is significantly less likely for them to get rid of that card, because even though, it's strong, it's not choking anything out. If anything, Force Throw is the reason that that a lot of leaders are getting played that wouldn't otherwise be played.
I would argue that Han 2 is choking out other aggression hero leaders. But that's also like there's no other 5 deploys, period. Well, I guess there is, but like because I know we have Marcus here, I can't say that.
Yeah.
there's no one nearly as good as what Hantu does, and I'm glad that there isn't, because if you ban him, then the other ones kind of have a level playing field to me. So
if they
Feel
ban
like-
anything, I think it won't be until they're releasing set 6.
that could also
or
happen.
we have like a sector or a regional in like, I don't know, end of September. Because supposedly we're supposed to have sectors and regionals here this
Yeah,
side,
pretty fast, right?
suppose. So unless we have some crazy turnout, I don't see them getting rid of anything until next set.
Yeah, there was nothing in top 8 that suggested, other than Force Throw being the top 6 of the top 8, that I'm like hesitantly over feeling crazily like oppressed. So.
I feel like I was at first when I saw the percentage of Han2 in day one. That was like, oh Jesus.
Yeah,
But then it just didn't convert because that's what everybody was expecting to play into.
I was worried about
And-
Tarkin town there for a
you know.
moment.
Yeah.
say we on top of that, like you mentioned, Michael, Steven and I guessed literally 50-50 in between the percentage of conversion rate, which is still too much of one deck to me.
Mhm.
But sometimes in just about every game, there's always a deck you have to beat, and if they're
for sure. I mean, that's never
Yeah.
going to go away.
Yeah.
But you also have to think, how does the meta change after this event? You only had yes.
Yes, Adam?
All right, trying to refocus my camera. There we go.
Read,
Oh, okay.
read the hand.
Yeah.
Talk to the
Yeah.
hand.
I was
High
like,
five.
why?
What's
But
going on
like,
here?
how does the meta shift? You just had Talzin win, and everyone already stated that Talzin loves the Hantu Blue matchup. And then you also have the Kylo Tarkin town, and from all I can gather, it sounds like they like their Hantu matchup as well. So,
But then you have like Talzin. Like if we look at the stats on my site or on the site, like Talzin auto loses essentially to all blue green villain.
Yeah.
Like
That
they
is-
have like a 13% win rate into Kylo ECL
Green
or
villain.
something.
That
It's
is the
Blue
matchup.
Blue Green Villain
yeah.
has to be like
but
the worst
But I
matchup
just
for
mean
him.
the numbers.
Yeah.
I think will normalize. Like,
Yes, yeah, for sure. But-
Because Han 2 is just going to be like, oh, I'm going to run into these two decks that probably more people are going to play than they were before. Because I don't remember what the numbers were for Talzin, but I think they were like, was it the second? It was the third most played deck.
I think it was the third.
Olsen was third because it was Hantu,
Vader yellow.
Vader Yellow, and then
So,
Talzin.
and Talzin was only at like what, 5%, I think.
Yeah.
It was like 25, 7, or it's like 7 to 8, and then 5.
Yeah.
If I
So
remember
I can
correctly.
totally see Talzin move up to that 7 to 9 range. And then obviously Kylo Tarkin town, I figure, will probably move into at least a 5% range.
Question is, does just Blue Green Villainy come back? Because Blue Green Villainy eats those decks up, I feel, right?
I think if it does,
That's
it
what
doesn't.
I'm wondering.
I don't know if it comes back as Kylo, but I think it does.
I think Kira will come back. Or even, I've been seeing a lot more Krennic around.
I think Krennic's interesting. Isn't Kira going to be... My thought, I was thinking about this earlier today, Kira into that new Kylo deck sounds really rough for Kira. That doesn't sound great.
Yeah.
I mean-
and I still think that I feel like aggro still has a pretty decent hold or pretty decent spot in the meta. Vader Yellow obviously still good. I think
Mhm.
you see this Han 4 deck that performed well and definitely has options. So still think they've got room for that to exist.
I think Landon brings a good point, though, or brings up an interesting idea with Krennic. I think Krennic is good into aggro and supports.
Well, like,
ECL
that's the thing with
Vader.
Kira ECL. The problem with Kira ECL is we were in a data vault meta, but now with all like the Tarkin towns and stuff like that, you kind of have the ability of you have Vader for when they flip Kylo if they don't immediately attack, and if they do, it's just dead still right afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
But then the other thing is, if you are playing like a Kylo deck with the Tarkin town, if you can get to dealing 24 damage in a single swing, Against Kira Datavault, I mean,
You die.
maybe, yeah. I mean, you can still die. I mean, you're only 9 damage off. And what happens if you're like, you know what? I'm gonna just wait another turn or two to put a couple more upgrades on my Kylo.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'm dealing 29.
Yeah.
And if they
I do think it's interesting that it is so not easily hated out, but there's just a card that just shuts the flip down.
Yeah. I think that moving forward into the PQ season, Parliamentarian will be in a lot more sideboards because that matchup is it almost doesn't save you completely, but it will definitely give you more game into the one tap Kylo. But yeah, I'm assuming Blue Green Villainy will be the one that kind of rises up to fight it, because if it doesn't, and I don't think everyone's going to, it's just going to continue to roll. Even on the planned game plan, there's really nothing to stop a single action like 16 to your base. There's
it's so hard to like.
Question for you: in your hyper control matchups, if they're having to side a Grief Parliamentarian and your control matchup is just a restock battle, do you side a Grief Parliamentarian in so it screws up their restock plan and then they have to draw through their whole deck again?
You could just make the game go until you're just resourced up.
Yeah, so like you get to the point in the game where you're like both at like 14, 15 resources, you're in the restock battle, and like what happens if you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna agree Parliamentarian you want to restock, they're going on the bottom of your deck, and now you have your whole deck that you have to go through.
I hate that idea so much.
You can just Parliamentary yourself, right? Or is it?
No, it's enemy.
Okay. Because I just learned that restock is both this weekend.
Because people were restocking you.
No one got to that far, but definitely was something that I didn't know could happen.
I restocked Kylo this last weekend.
Did you feel good about yourself?
Cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I put his double craving power devotion and like a saber or something. Oh, I turned off his Anakin with the heirloom lightsaber. I put it all back on his deck, and then
turning off Anakin's also a big deal.
Yeah. To kind of close out the episode, we've got this little guy. I know for those who went to Denver, we all got one of these, and I'm assuming everyone from Minneapolis was supposed to get one as well. But the Middle Initiative tokens should be finally arriving in the mail for everybody, if you haven't already gotten one. I was kind of upset to hear that people from Minneapolis got theirs before I got mine from Denver almost 4 months ago. But yeah, Daniel got his early compared to everybody else.
If it makes you feel better, I went to Minnie. I don't have mine yet.
Oh, really?
I don't. Yeah.
Huh.
I looked in the mail when somebody said, "Hey, they came in," and I looked and I'm like, I don't have it.
I just got it today, so for what it's worth, should be coming from Star City Games. But yeah, at that we're at an hour 45, and I think you said you needed to go grab dinner, right, Michael?
Yeah, I do. You're right. Thanks for reminding me.
I mean, we could go. I could do this for another. All
right, where are we meeting up, guys?
Yeah, we'll go to Popeyes in the Venetian. So
you have to fly to Vegas for dinner.
Yeah, duh. Be ready for next year. So, all right. With that, I think we'll we'll meet you there, right at the blackjack table. Perfect. We'll wrap it up from there. Landon, thank you, and obviously, you did an awesome job. I hope you're very proud of that. Had the highest record out of everybody. You also qualified to be in day 2 without having to play, which is also just badass in general. Same for you, Daniel and Ryan and Steven. Congratulations for one. You guys got to. If I had made it to day 2, I don't think I had the stamina to play in day 2, because 8 rounds by 8 rounds by 3 rounds by another, possible top 8 is a lot of fucking Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, props to Ryan for being able to do it.
Yeah,
no kidding.
He played the most Star Wars that weekend. And
Man gets married earlier in the week, and then goes and
Yeah.
plays 2 8-round tournaments.
no
Yeah, and
kidding.
then plays the most Star Wars. I wonder if he's just laying face down on his floor right now. Like, is that just his new default
Yes.
setting
That's
for
fair.
the next couple weeks?
My legs, man. My legs just
Yeah.
hurt. But I could keep complaining about all of it, or we could all see you in the next one. So
Perfect.
we will wave on out and see you all around.
See ya.
Peace.